What's up everyone, hope you're all having a great day today. So if you're in the gaming sphere or follow popular video games at all on YouTube, there's a name you are all probably familiar with, and that name is Harman Smith. He has a channel with only 1.24k subscribers, and I would argue he is considered a lolcow in the gaming community. I mostly say that because he makes outrageous, objectively false claims, straw man's arguments that no one is coming up with, and the best part, shills for Nintendo and their shitty business practices. Now look, I grew up playing Nintendo games, I don't play them a whole lot, but I do enjoy them from time to time. But defending their business practices such as false flagging videos or doubling down on emulation when they offer paid emulation, you kinda make yourself look like a dumbass. But with the vast landscape that is YouTube, tons of bigger creators have shat on Harman for his takes and shilling, and he never said shit about it. Well, me and my buddy Webbs the Cave Spider, shout out to him, link in the description, decided to react to his top 10 games of all time list live on stream. Now, we weren't going to be overly critical of his picks because it's video games, everyone has their own taste. But at least for me, I can't speak for Webbs, but I wanted to critique the way he presented his list and the way he described them. Because as a video game nerd, if I watch a top 10 list, I want to hear more about the game design and what separates it from other titles. But in Harman Smith fashion, he failed to do that. He also never properly explained what makes games like Baldur's Gate 3 or Doom Eternal, for example, bad. He just says they're boring and forgettable and overhyped without explaining why. Now, I said this on my stream, but me and Webbs both weren't looking for a 10,000 word college thesis on what makes these games standouts. We just wanted a little more elaboration as to what made them so good. And since this is an hour-long video, I was expecting that. Now, if it was 20 minutes, I wouldn't have a problem with the video and my stream wouldn't exist. That would be a totally different story. But it wasn't, and here we are. Now, I will admit, we probably should have watched the video at least a little before going live and critiquing it. I will own up to that. There is also some stuff I should have said differently and that I could have made more clear. But the stream happened and me and Webbs went on our merry way. Well, apparently Harman found the stream and had a rage fit and decided to respond with another hour-long video filled with horrible memes. Now, I won't be responding to absolutely everything, only the real important bits that I think need elaboration or warrant a response. Without further ado, let's get into it. It's an on-rail shooter game originally released on Saturn, but I bet he didn't even bother to compare the two games. Okay. Yeah, he probably didn't compare. Funny that you want to take a dig at me stuttering on stream when you stutter in your own pre-recorded videos and even include a clip of you with a voice crack later in this very video. I'm live on stream, I can't go back and correct the mistake. However, you leave plenty of mistakes in your pre-recorded videos that you can go back and fix at any time. Please try to do better, Harman. I didn't bother to compare him. Because he doesn't do any more research on anything outside of Nintendo. Why the fuck you lying? Or bother to, like, you know, play games that are released elsewhere.
You were lying your ass off.
Guess what, boys? I'm on PS3 for the first time ever on stream.
It wasn't a lie, dude. It was an observation of how you carry and present yourself online. Based on everyone else's observation, including mine, we came to the conclusion that you at least don't like to play on anything other than Nintendo. And Webbs said this on my stream, and I agree with him. It's fine if you prefer the Switch over everything else. We all have our preferences. But don't belittle the games that come out for other platforms that you barely spend any time with or haven't played at all because you're simply just not qualified to. Hell, you admitted to playing less than an hour of Doom Eternal before you put it down and claimed it sucks. Maybe it was a bit unfair to assume you haven't played on other consoles, but I think it is fair to assume that you haven't spent much time with other games you claim are bad. Nice outdated meme, by the way. You almost killed me with cringe. He doesn't want to play on anything that's not Nintendo. I've heard people say that he claims he has a super powerful gaming PC when we haven't even seen it before.
Yep, we are. Okay, we're live, but...
Of Eye of the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King DL, Lord for a Grim Clover, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon.
Okay, let's take a look at your library here. You've got Killer 7, which could run on a Chromebook if you wanted to. You've got A Plague Tale Innocence, which you could run on a very mediocre gaming laptop or with a system that was built in 2012. And you also have Portal 1 and 2, which again, you could run on a business computer if you wanted to. Now, if it was Portal RTX, that would have obliterated my argument. Now, to be fair to you, Harman, I don't know when that clip was streamed, so I have no idea if you even had access to Portal RTX or not. But if it was before December 8th of 2022, you definitely had access to it. Either you're lying about having a super powerful gaming PC, or you don't know what good hardware is, which that I can't criticize you too much for.
Yeah, all those Devil May Cry like Bayonetta.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they similar at all? Because I've never played Bayonetta, so I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have never played either.
Okay. Didn't Devil May Cry do it first?
Yeah, I think Devil May Cry did do it
Let me
first.
see what year they came out. Devil May Cry 1. When did that come out?
He's only saying, by the way, he's only saying that 3 is better than 2 is because it's Nintendo exclusive, probably.
Yeah, probably.
What, are you retarded?
Bruh, I was literally Googling the release dates in the background. That screenshot does not need to exist. Now, in fairness, I could have done more research on Bayonetta versus Devil May Cry to find out that they were done by the same director, but I was also on stream, so I wasn't about to do that. You're acting like you've never seen a live stream before, dude.
Isn't necessarily the games on here, or what he's saying, but isn't necessarily the games on here, or what he's saying, but the biggest critique, I think, is because his view is so narrow, right?
I myself haven't played Ace Attorney, so I don't really have an opinion on it, but, I don't.
His view is so narrow, right?
I can't believe you don't know what a narrow-minded view is. Webbs explained it for you on his stream, but I'm gonna break it down for you again. A narrow-minded view is someone who expects or thinks every game is going to be like that one that they played first in a franchise. I'll use an example from your video, Pokemon. A narrow-minded view would be if I played Pokemon Black or White and expected literally every other Pokemon game to be like that. That's what narrow-minded means. Showing off your game variety and me saying I've never played Ace Attorney is not a narrow-minded view. Please educate yourself if you're gonna try and get someone in a gotcha, Harman. And by the way, you used that clip way too much without even knowing what it means, so please delete it from your hard drive.
There's only one way to play Tears of the Kingdom. There are multiple ways to play Baldur's Gate 3. You could play as any race the game presents to you.
What even is this? That Baldur's Gate 3 fans are some sort of sexual deviants for simply enjoying the game? Or losers that pay for OnlyFans? Is that the dumbass mindset that you came up with to not play Baldur's Gate? Or are you just generalizing the audience? Either way, you made yourself look stupid yet again. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Base alert, guys.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Base alert.
To be fair, the only Pokemon game I have played is Pokemon Go. But
You exposed, bitch, for being a bitch.
yeah, Harman, that's my face. I admitted to only playing Pokemon Go in that very stream and that I can't critique your favorite Pokemon game fairly. And my face is publicly available, so I didn't get exposed. You just wanted to pretend like you did something. And since you wanted to take that dig with that thumbnail, I feel like it's only fair to take one back at you. You look like a psychotic dungeon-dwelling Redditor who let yourself go after high school and your shirts no longer fit you, yet you still hold on to them for some stupid fucking reason. Oh, and I can also smell your basement through my screen. I didn't even know there were Ninja Gaiden games on the NES.
I heard Ninja Gaiden is pretty hard.
I've heard Ninja Gaiden is hard too, but I didn't know that it was like... I didn't know it was a thing on the NES.
Yeah.
Exposed. Wow. Exposed. Wow.
Okay, this attempt at a gotcha is funny because, yeah, that is my wallpaper, but I've also heard from a couple of people that you have fetishized a vampire in one of your stories. I don't want to pretend like it's true because I have no way of knowing, but I've heard from a couple of people that you have. Anyone who might know about that, let me know in the comments. But if that's true, that just makes you a massive hypocrite, which makes this even fucking funnier. And about my wallpaper, all I'll say is this: I was proud of the character I made and I wanted to use it as a wallpaper. Sexual themes are also a heavy part of Cyberpunk's world, and you can find NPCs dressed similarly to my character. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking wallpaper, and you allegedly fetishized a vampire, so who really fucking cares, man?
He doesn't put them on here either because they're not on Nintendo, or he just doesn't, you know, he doesn't
Or
give
he
them
doesn't
the time
like-
of day, or
He doesn't like
Or-
him for any specific
Yeah.
stupid fucking reason. Is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, exactly. I think
You can say that's wrong till you're blue in the face, but are you really gonna deny it? Like I said earlier, you admitted to playing Doom Eternal for less than an hour before putting it down and saying it sucks. And we haven't seen you play it, but you're still going on tirades about Baldur's Gate 3. We haven't seen you play it, nor proof that you at least own it. So how are we supposed to believe you when you say the same thing about every major release that isn't a Nintendo product, and that you've been doing the same thing for a while now? Exactly, we fucking can't.
okay, what do you think number one's gonna be? I think
Oh, God.
Ocarina of Time.
It's a Zelda game. I know it's gonna be a Zelda
Yeah,
game. I
definitely
just
a
don't know
Zelda
which
game.
one. And that, Harman, is what we call a joke. Me, Webbs, and everyone else like to joke about how you play nothing but Nintendo titles and that you don't like anything that isn't Nintendo because that's exactly what you do. You give Nintendo titles the highest praise while you shit on other major titles that get the same amount or more recognition. Zelda is one of those franchises that you shill so hard for, and that's why me and Webbs were making a joke. I can't believe that went over your fucking head.
So if you're saying something is better than something else, you got to explain why that is better than that, right?
Yeah.
So
Even today, I can still feel its influence. Every time I play this game, I find myself shocked at how well made it is, how well animated it is, how well directed the cutscenes are, like the personality, like the style. Really, no other action game really comes close to this. This really is on a caliber beyond that of any other game I've ever played. Right, like the technical depth is incredible. The enemy design is impeccable. Like the level design is great. The replayability is amazing. Like the medal system, like all the weapons you can use, like it all just blends together to create like this incredible experience that really, really hasn't been matched. You know, Bayonetta 2 was a major disappointment, and 3 was fantastic for what it was, right? Like I love 3. I love Lost Demon, but like I do think in a lot of ways it's not really going to be possible to top the original because the original really raised the bar for what a video game is capable of when it comes to like action, when it comes to like just combat, when it comes to just the kind of structure, the kind of game Bayonetta is. Like it just excels at what it's trying to do.
And to reiterate mine and Webbs' entire point during that stream, because your video was an hour long, we wanted a little more elaboration on why the cutscene direction is so good, why the technical depth is so good, why enemy design is good, why it has good replayability. We never said you had to write a college thesis on why, but just give a little more elaboration. Webbs even goes on to explain that too. You left that clip in your video, so really you played yourself. I'll actually just go ahead and let that clip play.
the gunplay felt a little basic. Felt like kind of like a poor man's Call of Duty, and that's not like Starfield. I mean, it's not Call of Duty, right? I mean, it's not trying to be Call of Duty, but like still, but it's way better because everything felt like it had weight to it, right? So you got to compare and you got to explain why you think this is better than this. You have to give reasons. You can't just say, "Oh, it's better than Devil May Cry," and then just expect everyone to be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I see that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because not everyone has played Devil May Cry.
Mm-hmm. I'll even use an example from a game I keep bringing up, and that is Doom Eternal versus Doom 2016. What separates Doom Eternal from 2016, and why would people prefer that? There's new weapons like the Unmaker and the Ballista, there's new enemies, there's parkour in the level design now, there's the weapon swap mechanic in the combat, the way you get armor is tweaked to the flame belch. There's just a lot of things that separate Eternal from 2016 that people would like more. And if Doom Eternal was one of my top 10 favorite games of all time, that is something I would talk about. That's what I was looking for more of, not this game is good for reasons X, Y, and Z, and it's better than this other title I don't like, so you should play it.
Is, in a way, kind of a list, a very well-created list of the best games I've ever played. You know, my personal favorites.
Yeah, I get these are your personal favorites, and to be perfectly clear, I'm not knocking them. Hell, I haven't even played any of them, so I can't judge them fairly, and you also have your own opinion. But again, Harman, there's a better way to do a top 10 list rather than this game has good combat, it has a good story, it has good level design, then go off on a tirade about how Japanese devs are superior because Western devs aren't making games like that. If you just left all your fluff out and didn't go on about shit that doesn't matter, I wouldn't have had a problem with this video.
I bet he hasn't even watched a video about the series. He probably hasn't. Let's be real, he probably hasn't even touched the fucking series.
Oh, that's right. We have Devil May Cry 2 and 3. Devil May Cry 2 and 3 were on sale, so I actually picked them both up. Let's play Devil May Cry 2. Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, I'm aware. I haven't read any of it though.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take the L on that one. Does that mean you spent a proper amount of time with it to say it's mediocre, though? My money's on probably not. Raised shoulders. Oh, wait, of course he prefers Bayonetta. Yeah. Yeah, of course he does. Oh, yeah, probably. You know he's probably a simp. He has to be a simp. Oh my god. Okay, I think, yeah, I might just wait for Webbs to get back so that he can give his piece on, like, Bayonetta controversy.
No, like that's stupid. It's disgusting. I am getting more and more like agitated at like the people who unironically like just completely just fetishize anime, fetishize Japanese culture, fetishizing like images of underage girls. Like it is deplorable. And I think like now that anime is a bit more popular in the West, we've been seeing like a big decline in that kind of thing. It does kind of feel like we're not seeing as many like 10,000-year-old dragons in the bodies of 12-year-old girls, or at least like not in like mainstream stuff. And I think in a lot of ways, Spy Family is a really good example of that because your Forger, she is not all that fetishized. She's not all that sexualized. She's not all that like.
But the Bayonetta fan base, the anime fan base, and Japanese culture are all different. I agree that sexualizing underage girls is deplorable, but you have to understand that Bayonetta, as a character, doesn't look Japanese to me. The IP is a Japanese IP, but that doesn't mean she's Japanese. Now, like I said on my stream, I've actually never played the Bayonetta games before, but if there is any indication in the lore that she is Japanese, let me know if I'm wrong. And ignoring the whole, well, she's actually 2,000 years old bullshit argument, she looks like she's in her 20s, so I'd say anyone that does simp for her is probably safe. Still degenerative, mind you, but not quite pedophilic. And like I said earlier, I've heard that you fetishized a vampire, which, again, if that's true, makes you a massive hypocrite. Nice voice crack, by the way, you proved me right earlier. Hopefully, if Webbs knows any, he can provide some more insight.
We have confirmation that not only is Bayonetta based, it's also not gay. Certified hashtag not gay. Certified anti-LGBT material. Wow. I am very, very surprised by this, honestly, because as a longtime fan of Bayonetta, I really was concerned that Platinum Games would fold, they would cuck. I long expected that they would seriously go down this route of pandering to like Yuri shitters and people who really legitimately wanted Bayonetta to be Bayonetta to be a lesbian. The one thing that would get me to like 100% not support the game is if they make Bayonetta and Jean a couple. It made no sense to me. I didn't want that. I'm sure like actual fans didn't want that. It was basically like a thing to appeal to weirdos on the internet.
So that's all the controversy was about? Her being straight when all the LGBT community wanted was a lesbian icon in gaming? That doesn't matter at all. I mean, you must be pretty worried about it for you to admit that you were worried that if Bayonetta was a lesbian, you were prepared to stop supporting the IP. Gotta admit, Harman, I never took you for a homophobe. You are a lot of things, but I didn't think that was one of them. And I think those are really the only notable points worth going over. There was obviously a lot more, and he even called my stream a hit piece, which I thought was hilarious. But there really wasn't much topic for discussion since he let a lot of clips play out for far too long. And I said this on Webbs' stream, if you want to debate, dude, I'm all down. But if you don't want to, that's totally fine and we can never speak to each other again. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to join the Discord, link down below. But until the next one, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching, much love, and I'll see you in the next one.